How much better are we at treating COVID now compared to 5 months ago? I hear that the antibodies plasma treatment is giving pretty good results. Do we have better treatment of symptoms as well? Thank you. I see you, Doc, in New Orleans. We realized pretty quickly that this isn't a disease that will resolve in a week. Not uncommon to care for a patient who's been on the ventilator for a month or longer. Use much more therapeutic anticoagulation than we did when we started. We pay close attention to the function of the kidneys when a patient is in respiratory failure. Oftentimes we feel relieved if the patient is still making urine but are intubated on a ventilator. Outcomes are much more favorable. Everyone gets steroids and remdesivir. We've been proning for severe ARDS the entire time. Personally, I haven't seen a significant change in mortality, but that's because I don't deal with the stable patients on the floor. We've adapted to using NIV pretty quickly at our institutions, so we didn't have too many patients that were intubated for requiring greater than 6 lpm oxygen. I think the biggest change in mortality, if there is one, between March and now would have to be because we are more hesitant to do something that harms the kidneys, and we've recognized that sometimes these people require 6 weeks or more on the ventilator. If there is indeed microbial life on Venus producing phosphene gas, is it possible the microbes came from Earth and were introduced at some point during the last 80 years of sending probes? I wonder if a non-sterile probe may have left Earth, have all but the most extremophile, adaptable microbes survive the journey, or microbes capable of desiccating in the vacuum of space and rehydrating once in the Venusian atmosphere, and so already adapted to the life cycles proposed by Seeger et al. 2020 https://archive.org/abs/2009.06474 No, in the paper they looked at that possibility and there is simply not enough time for the quantity of phosphine seen. This doesn't mean that if there is life in the atmosphere that it couldn't have originated from Earth via an impact event, but all probes we have sent have been too recent. Solar panels directly convert sunlight into electricity. Are there technologies to do so with heat more efficiently than steam turbines? I find it interesting that turning turbines has been the predominant way to convert energy into electricity for the majority of the history of electricity. There are thermoelectric devices that can convert a heat differential directly to electricity. Peltier device. Edit. The Seebeck effect generates electricity. The Peltier effect is the reverse. Same device though, or motion, Stirling engine, but these are actually not as efficient as steam, at least at scale. If you wanted to charge your phone off a cup of hot coffee, sure, use a Peltier device. But it probably isn't going to be powering neighborhoods. What organ warms the body? Or just what in general? All organs. Literally everything in your body is constantly producing heat. Your body gets energy from food and oxygen. In that process, heat is produced. It's a byproduct of any activity, but is very useful for staying at the right temperature. Every part of your body constantly needs to do stuff to stay alive, so every part of your body is producing heat constantly as well. When your body doesn't produce enough heat from normal processes, it will produce extra heat by activating muscles. Those muscles will need energy for movement and produce heat in the process of getting that energy from food produce heat. This is why you shiver when you're cold, to activate your muscles to produce heat. Normally you produce about 80 watts of energy. That can increase during exercise to about 1000 watt for short periods of time. Elite athletes can produce somewhat about 400 watts for long periods of time. A lot of this energy is converted to heat. Edit. These numbers are mechanical energy, e.g. the amount of energy required to move you up a mountain. The actual heat production is even higher, since we're not very efficient when it comes to producing mechanical energy. What propels vomit out of your stomach? Follow-up question: what makes the body know it has to vomit in the first place? I heard vomiting from motion sickness is due to your brain thinking you have been poisoned since the movement don't match the optical input, but what about food poisoning and stomach flu?